I want you to write the word husband down. We got to be careful with this. I was looking at this word the other day, and I realized that the power of a man in the family is the key to the family. Matter of fact, the word husband is from two words put together. Write them down. It's the word house bond. One who bonds the house together. If you are the husband, your job is like glue. You're supposed to glue the whole family together. You are responsible for gluing the family together. You are the house bond. That's why they call you a father. The word father is the Hebrew word Abba. It means source and sustainer. Not just the sauce, you got to sustain what you're sauced. That's my baby. Good. Are you paying for the school of that baby?
Are you paying for the school for that baby? Remember, this is a Christian man, and he's telling y'all, money first, money first.
The money first, the money first.
So let's just stop with this conversation about love. Yes, love is a bonus. Back in the day, that you could probably lead with that. But in today's modern dating market, you got to have these ducats, man. I'm sorry. Okay? We understand each other. So let's not downplay the importance of money in marriages. It is necessary. I'm not telling you how much, but on my page, it seems like y'all set the bar high at $96,000 for the men. Okay? Let's continue.
Are you feeding that child? Oh, by the way, did you know that women are your baby too? God did not take women from the soil. He went inside the male and pulled out a female. That's what I like about God. In other words, the male came out of the male, but he built the male to make it a female. So a real female is a female because she has a womb to carry the fetus. You are a female if you got a fetus capacity.
Y'all catch that? He's good. He's a slick one. He's a slick. That's why they was mad at him. He's good.
So you could break your wrists, wear your earrings, have a ponytail, but if you ain't got no womb, you are a brother.
You see that? He's good. I sneak that in there. Dr. Myles Munroe, man. Look at the picture. Hey, yo. He's good.
Your job is to sustain your baby. The woman came out of man, not man out of woman. Paul was clear. That means the female in your life is your baby. That's why it's natural for a man to call his wife baby. It's in your genes. She's your baby. That means you must feed her, clothe her, protect her, counsel her, provide for her. Feed.
You hear all that? Men, like I said, you guys, the guys that say that they are marriage minded and you want to be husbands, you have a large responsibility. Feed her, clothe her, protect her, counsel her, provide for her. A lot of responsibility, man, and that's something that you have to think about, okay? Because remember, you're going to have somebody in the house walking around with you 24/7. Ain't no spending no weekends no more, you know, with the woman in that honeymoon phase, enjoying each other's company like I used to. And then you run off and do your own thing. No. She right there. Get used to it. So you better like that woman. And I'm not saying love. I'm talking about like, you like seeing her face. You like being around her when it ain't nothing going on. And y'all can just chill. Because like I said, there's going to be a lot of those days. Every day is not going to be a jet setter lifestyle. This even applies to the men who are rich or the men who are, well off. You're not going to be on jets and planes and, going to the Bahamas and Fiji and Bali every day. Nah, y'all going to be sitting right at home. So you better find a good show to watch together or something. So I think Brian $2 Super Chat said, in other words, embrace monotony. You're going to have to. I'm sorry, man. I mean, especially more people are working from home now. You remember all them marriages that failed during CV times in 2020? Yeah, people was partnering, but they also was getting divorced because people had to be around their significant other for the whole day. Usually you get a break. You know what I'm saying? You go off and you go to work, you play with your work husband or your work wife, and then you come back to your wife and everything seemed fresh. They was in the house mingling together. Who ate all the crackers?
I get my mouth all set for some orange juice, and it's just a swallow in the container.
Well, swallow it and shut the fuck up.
You blind motherfucker.
You fat bitch.
And now y'all got to see each other 24/7. And a lot of people figured out we just not compatible. Or I don't like your ass. So you better make sure you like that woman.
You got to do everything for her. Why? She's your baby. No, all you want is sex. That's your problem. The house should be bonded together by the house bond. The family is like a business corporation.
There it is. That business.
The father is the president. The wife, vice president. The children, the board members. Neighbors, clients.
President, vice president. You know how the family, the household dynamic, God, husband, wife, kids, right? This is essentially what he's saying. But in today's modern dating market, I've heard a lot of women, black women, say that they don't subscribe to that. And I think essentially that's what Tracy Ellis Ross wants. She wants both of y'all to be God or whatever she believe in, husband, wife together. And then, no kids because she's a little older now, but yeah, on level playing field.
It's one of the reasons, we talked about this, that often I date younger men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And but a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize, I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
It's wild, man. Here we go.
Now, look at those words carefully. You are what? The president. That means you preside. You don't own or control. You preside.
Okay, now guys, you hear it, you see, you preside. But watch this.
Over the house. Who's your wife? Vice president. That means you don't act without getting advice from your wife as well. Oh, I'm in trouble now, see?
You hear that? And I want men to pay close attention to that. I've said this multiple times. Never let your wife or your girlfriend get to why, if you can help it. It's not just this whole alpha beat on your chest. You're going to do what I say you're going to do, woman. No. Be a respectful man and let your wife in on the decisions that you have to make as, in your household. Because in certain areas, your wife is probably going to be more educated than you. And I've used myself as an example. I know how to save money. My wife knows how to grow money. There's a huge difference. Okay? That makes sense? So it'll be stupid of me to beat on my chest if I get a bonus and I'm sitting there, okay, I'm going to do this with it. No, I'm going to, consult with her. Hey, what you think we should do? You know what I'm saying? It got to do with fitness, nutrition, public health, medical shit. She come to me. Can I take this? You know what I'm saying? Is this good? That's why I'm here. So there's going to be certain areas that she's going to be, subject matter expert in, and you would just be stupid not to keep her involved. And also when you have to explain something about the house, consult with her. What you think about this? It's not saying that you're giving her, complete autonomy over making the decision, but you need to keep her involved. So that's one thing that I really don't like about some of these spaces, man. They don't describe they don't explain these types of situations in the household. Your wife absolutely has a say. If not, and I'm probably sure your marriage is piss poor. Okay? God, dog.
And your children are on what? The board. That means you inform them of what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Black community got to get out of that. You got to break that generational curse. You're going to do it because I said you could do it. You're going to do it. You can tell your kids, man, if you got time, cool. You build up that trust with your wife, your kids, and then when it's time, when you don't have time to explain, then they already going to do it. I mean, it's just a common courtesy, man. You could apply this to your work life as well. If you're a manager or a director, you do the same thing, okay?
If you're going to burn the house together, it has to be a corporate effort. Management of the home is the greatest test of a man's leadership. What did I say?
Fellas, y'all agree? Put in the chat. Management of the home is the greatest test of a man's leadership. And this is only a question for the men who want to get married. I understand y'all may think different if that's not your goal.
Can't hear you. Say it again. Management of the home is the greatest test of a man's leadership. That's why the Apostle Paul says, look, if you want to come into God's house and sit in this pulpit, he says, first you must manage your own home well. Mm-hmm. There's some men who want to build the house of God, but they can't build their own house. There are men who counsel other people's kids but lose their own kids. Some men spend more time with other women than with their wives.
Uh-oh.
And they call it counseling.
Uh-oh. What kind of counseling y'all doing over there? What's going on? Yo. You counseling,
y'all don't get
all
quiet
right.
on me because I'm going to walk right down there and talk to some of y'all.
Mm-hmm. He said he going to walk right down there and point somebody out. What you doing over there? You sneaking in?
There are wives who need to make an appointment to see their husband.
Uh-oh. Now this goes into the high value conversation. You know, and in certain aspects, I get it. The guy is busy. If you want a man who's a high earning guy and he a mover and shaker, yes, he's gonna be busy. But some effort has to be there with the husband. Okay?
Is your wife one of them? She wants to see you. You haven't talked to her for months. You are the manager of that home. And this is why it's important for you as a man to understand that the family is your most sacred responsibility.
And again, guys, Dr. MYLES Munroe is just one guy where you could take advice from. I'm pretty sure you can go on other channels and they may have a different message. I'm just sharing it with you guys because I always enjoyed Dr. MYLES Munroe's sermons because they were easy to understand. So that's why I'm bringing it here to my live stream. So again, this is not to be debated. And I heard somebody else say this. You can find somebody that you may align with, but this is what I align with. And I felt it was necessary to share with you guys, especially the dudes. Okay.